guys, and welcome to today's podcast. We have Holly with Boho Medspa. I'm so excited to have you on. Thanks for coming.
To be here.
And I've seen your TikTok, all of your social platforms just explode, and I just want to hear all about your journey and how you got into aesthetics. Have you always been Boho Medspa?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so where did it start?
Top Spa. My husband actually named us for SEO purposes because if people were searching top spas in Dallas to go to, we would pop up. So our name was Top Spa Dallas. And then I want to say 4 years into being Top Spa Dallas, we moved our brand over to Boho Medspa because at that time, my branding was more beauty from within and being holistic wellness merged with medical. Now it feels like everybody is that. It's like now that is a trend. But I was doing that. Let's see here. I've been in business 11 years now. So
wow.
I was there before, like everyone was like, you're so weird. Like,
oh gosh.
like the holistic beauty movement, like people didn't get it because I was ahead of my time. And it's so funny that now I'm into ASMR, which I started really doing that 2.5 years ago and bringing it over to Instagram. People are like, what the heck is this? Like I was such a weirdo. I'm like, man, why do I love to hit brands that I'm the weirdo in?
No, I think that, I mean, you clearly were ahead of the game in all these areas. I want to circle back to the Top Spa. That seems genius. Did it work during that time?
It did.
Wow.
We did really well. So I started off as a solo esthetician. Right out of school, actually, I worked for 2 other people. It went horribly wrong. And so I just felt this burn that I needed to start my own location. I couldn't sleep at night, and which is crazy because I only had 8 clients, which I would not recommend this to anybody. If you're a new Esty, dude, go work for somebody for a year. Okay. Go learn from them before you're crazy like me and start your own business. Okay. I'm also like a serial entrepreneurial psychopath. Okay. So I'm just my own little world all the time. But anyways, I digress.
No, I mean, you started your own business. You went solo. You wouldn't recommend that, which I agree because you learned, I mean, if I went solo right away, I feel like it would have been bad. I feel like I would have been so lost in the sauce. So for you starting, you know, how long was that you went solo after you worked for somebody else?
So I graduated in aesthetic school in February. I just hit my 11 years of being an esthetician.
Wow.
And by October, actually September is when I decided to start my own.
Okay.
So like not long at all.
So what were the biggest like takeaways that you like why you don't recommend that for a solo esthetician?
It is a ton of work and people don't realize that. A lot of stress. But to me, worth it. But it just depends for you. Like, are you willing to not sleep? Are you willing to deal with everyday stress that just never stops? And these are the things that I wouldn't recommend if you can avoid it. I was a mom of 2 and my husband, and I was a sole provider for my family. And so I'm a person that I like to take control over my world, right? And so working for somebody else, I don't have full control. I am a control freak and I'm like, I don't like this. So I'm willing to go through the pain and not sleeping and all the burdens that come with being a business owner to control my own destiny.
No, I completely agree. I have like a similar journey, but I didn't go solo right away. But I just think, I mean, I admire people that do that. But man, I mean, it's a totally different game if you're trying to figure it out. I mean, you almost feel like you're drowning in the beginning and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. And it's so hard, but you have to keep pushing in those moments. And if you give up, I mean, you just can't give up, right? So as far as Boho Medspa goes, how did you rebrand yourself in the industry?
So because my niche was more holistic wellness, I had one of my clients who is an amazing brand, like helps people with their branding. And like she did Jamba Juices and Zoe's Kitchen, and she is like amazing for marketing. And she's like, Holly, you need a different name that actually says who you are. And so originally she gave me Bohemia. And that's why I named my skincare line now Bohemian, Bohemia Skin. And so that's where that comes from. But we didn't love Bohemia. We just didn't resonate with it at the time. And so my husband, so funny, again, came up with our name, and he was like, well, what about Boho? And he was like, we treat your body, B-O, holistically, H-O. And so that's where the Boho comes from.
Wow, that's incredible.
And that's all him. Again,
oh my
from
gosh.
Top Spa to Boho, I'm like, you're a genius.
Yes, I can relate. Chris is my husband, obviously, and it's just a different like creative brain where you think of the things not just of your branding, but how people are going to find you and what makes sense to like who you are as a brand. How do you like stand out like branding wise in your business?
This is such a great question, because in order to really stand out, you have to be very niched. You can't be everything for everybody. You can sure try, but it's not going to make your brand completely explode. What you have to do is when people close their eyes and they think Boho Medspa, what is the first thing that comes to your brain?
Holistic and...
It's not ASMR, relaxing facial.
Oh, I thought you meant the actual.
No. My page now.
Yes. Oh, so yeah. I think of like relaxing crystals, ASMR. I think of the colors of your branding as well. So like how do you say it? Psychedelic.
Yes,
psychedelic. I just think of like blue too. I think of relaxing, serene, holistic.
I love that.
That's what I think of.
But you wouldn't think laser hair for me.
Oh, no.
So if you're looking for laser hair or body sculpting or injectables, are you going to come see me?
No.
Yeah. I provide them, but I'm not known for them.
Yeah.
So we have learned in this past year, we're taking away laser hair. We took away injectables. I now refer out, and we create synergy with other businesses to refer back to us.
Okay.
And staying in our niche of what we're known for, which is relaxing, melt your ass to our table facials.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that took me a second. I was like, what? What did you just say?
Facials are a gateway drug, and we still stay within our realm of facials. But then we migrate over to lasers and more corrective modalities like microneedling. But the ASMR facial is our gateway drug to pull people in. Everyone wants to be melted to the table. And then we migrate them to other services that are actually going to correct their skin.
Yeah. Did you do injectables at one point as well?
I did.
Oh my goodness. So, and you completely dissolved that in your business.
Correct.
And so those are the services I'm assuming you refer out now?
Yes.
Okay.
We refer out. And the reason why is because I'm gearing up to franchise.
Yeah.
And when you franchise, you have to make everything so simple. And so we're packaging up like our training program and then our specific facials that we're known for. And the more that you can be very simple, the easier it is to franchise. And so to have injectables, you have to have a nurse. You have to have like a lot of training back behind it, because injectables can go really wrong really fast. It's also a higher insurance cost, right? Everything's so much more expensive when we dive into injectables. But I have found that I've made more money staying in my niche of corrective, relaxing facials than I ever did with injectables or body sculpting or laser hair. So we're like, you know what? Let's just take all of this away. Let's simplify and just be really good at our niche. And so back to branding, you have to have a brand that resonates with that, and you have to pick what are you known for. That way your whole community knows around you who's the expert in that field.
Yeah, I agree. And you truly can't be the jack of all trades. No. I see that a lot of estheticians who are struggling, and it's because their bio says that they offer every single service. And how is a customer going to know that you're the right, practice for them? It's so confusing for the consumer, right?
Totally.
I want to talk about your whole branding, your whole marketing, because I know that you have a lot of influencers in the space come into your spa. Yeah. I want to hear about that. Like, what does that look like? How do you reach out to them? Is it something that brings clients in the door?
Totally. I have bigger influencers now, but I didn't always have the big dogs, right? Which is fun because I've always used influencers to grow my business. Even when I had like a solo suite, when it was just me, I used influencers to help grow my brand awareness, because especially when you can trade with an influencer, like, hey, I'll give you a facial for your marketing. Yeah. Because I know, especially if it's female, right, and they have local influence, I'm going to bring so many door swings to my to my location, which that's what it's all about. Is yes, social media growth is nice, but at the end of the day, if that influencer isn't bringing you business, it's not worth it. Yeah. So I had an influencer come in one day, rocked my world, was so sweet, gave me like a story, and I just started blowing up, and so many people were following me, so many people were calling me, and I was like, oh oh my gosh.
We went viral.
I was like, whoa, no. This was like back in the day. This is like, I had an influencer who had like 700K come see me. And I didn't know that at the time, but she was so sweet and like gave me a shout out. And from there I was like, oh.
You didn't know she was an influencer?
No, not when she saw me.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness.
But she was sweet and she posted it about me. And then that's how I got introduced to influencers. I was like, oh, there's something to this. So I would like, let me find as many influencers as I can in the area and bring people into my door. So I'd reach out to them and I would ask them for a facial in exchange for stories. And whoever actually brought business to me, we would say like, hey, my front desk would be like, how did you find us? And we would always ask like, oh, is it Brittany? Is it Janine? Who's calling? Who's bringing you in? And if we got at least 5 people from it, I was like, oh, it's worth it to give them a free facial.
Absolutely.
Right? And so we just kept growing from there. And then, oh gosh, it was maybe, I've always done Instagram. Yeah. And I hit with working with micro influencers around me, I was able to get to like 17K. Okay. And I couldn't get past the 17K on Instagram. Yeah. And this is 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 now, 2.5 years ago. Okay. I didn't have any other platform except Instagram at 17K. Okay.
Wow, and you're at 400,000 now.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I started growing on Instagram just last year.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Well, congratulations. Yes, that's huge.
Yeah. And so I'm like, it's crazy because I've done social media with trying to grow my Instagram for the past 7-8 years. And I'm just now growing. Oh my gosh. So for those of you guys who are listening to this and you're like, oh, I'm trying. Dude, I tried and kept getting rejected and nobody liked my stuff except my mom, my grandma, and my husband. Okay, those are my supporters.
You're hilarious.
And the thing is like we blame the algorithm, but it's not the algorithm. I was just making shitty content.
Yeah, that's
at
so
the end
true.
of the day. It's just like, yeah,
your content's not good. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's like you gotta tweak things. You gotta figure out what's working and what's not. And I love that you did that even with like the influencer route because it has to be worth your time and your investment and who's bringing that in. Totally. Now, how do you find influencers? Is it something you search on Instagram through location tags?
No, mainly Instagram. So I'll just type in like, also ChatGPT recently. I found this out because I was looking for bigger influencers to partner with. And I just asked ChatGPT who has following over X amount that has a YouTube audience, TikTok audience, and Instagram audience that is in the Austin, Dallas area. And then it will populate the top 10.
Wow. Yeah. And is it easy to get them in now that you have a following or is it more so?
Yes and no. It's about getting my message seen. So I reach out in 2 different ways. Actually, there's 3 ways that I get influencers. Okay. Number 1 is I DM them on Instagram. But the reason why Instagram is tricky is because Instagram doesn't want to always show you people's messages, which is so annoying. I'll get a message from like a big influencer from a year ago.
Oh no.
And I'm like,
it's in hidden.
Yes. Yeah. I'm like, what? No. And even like other influencers that end up messaging me to want to come in. Yeah. They'll look at the history and they're like, I missed your message. I've been following you for a year. I've been obsessed. I would have came in sooner. Yeah. And I'm like, Instagram.
I know, it's so annoying.
Fuck you, Instagram. And so I also try to email them. Okay. And so what I found is that if you go to their Facebook pages, a lot of times like no one's on Facebook anymore. At least not like
my grandma is.
Yeah, exactly. Your grandma's on there. But back in the day, a lot of these influencers made a Facebook account at one point and they put in their actual personal email address.
Okay, that's genius. So you have to do some diving.
Yes.
You have to do some like stalking, not in a creepy way, but got to do your homework.
Yes. So that's what I found to reach out to people is that, or now I do have brand management, and a lot of time my brand management or other influencers will know other influencers. Okay. So I'm like, hey, do you know this person? And
wait, you have a brand manager? Is that what you're saying?
I do. I have brand management.
Okay. What does that mean?
That means that they work with other brands to say, hey, we're looking for an influencer to do an ad for us.
Oh, okay.
And so, for example, I just got done doing a 3-month campaign with Ancient Nutrition, which is a collagen drink. I actually really love it. And I was drinking it beforehand. And so when my brand manager was like, hey, these people want to work with you.
Oh, okay.
Then they strike the deal for me. And then they negotiate everything. And then the brand pays them and then they pay me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Would you recommend that for anyone, or is it mostly if you have an influence in the aesthetic space?
You have not in the aesthetic space. So this is how influencers make their money.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so especially on Instagram. So if you see any big influencers on Instagram, let's say they have like 1 million followers, the likely of them actually making money through the Instagram Creator Fund is so incredibly low. And so whenever I see people that only have Instagram, I'm like, they're either not doing really well through social media.
Yep.
Give you an example, I'm at 400K. I get videos that hit multiple millions on Instagram, and I made $300 last month. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
This is like nothing to take home.
I know
about.
They pay pennies.
They really do.
Yeah.
And it's because the creator program is oversaturated.
Yeah.
But YouTube is not, and neither is TikTok. And that's where you make money. But if you're not on those platforms, you're not making money just on Instagram.
Yeah.
How you, as an influencer, make money is you do it through brand deals, like my Ancient Nutrition ad.
Yeah.
And you sell a product.
Okay.
So for you would be your community.
Yep,
right?
exactly.
For me, it would be my skincare items.
Yeah.
And or also you actually get business through Instagram. Because Instagram, in my opinion, is older than TikTok. And there are some older people on TikTok. I'm not saying it's not. But usually Instagram, when we get an Instagram follower, they're going to be able to spend more money with us through skincare and services. They're not as young.
Yes.
They seem to be more serious.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's such a interesting point, and I actually wanted to talk to you about that because I feel a lot of estheticians feel stuck in the I guess social media world where number one, they're trying to grow their Instagram, but for what? What are we trying to build our Instagram for? I've done brand deals through Instagram. I've done, which I don't have a brand manager. I don't have the management thing that you're talking about. So I was like, should I look into that?
That's usually for like, I just brought it on.
Okay, gotcha.
Like the beginning of this year.
Okay, I'm going to take some notes. So as far as that goes, monetization and making money outside the treatment room, like I feel like everyone's striving to reach followers, virality. So like what is the easiest way? Like do you focus on TikTok and YouTube exclusively and then Instagram's kind of just like you throw it up there as well just cuz, or what's the best way to go about that?
Each platform does something different for you.
Okay.
So I'll give you my story and I think that might answer your question.
Yeah.
So I remember I'm at 17K gel.
Yeah.
Right. I end up, one of the person that was helping me with my create content ended up quitting. It's always funny how like bad things end up leading into good things. So I love this person that helped me with my social media, but she just got burnt out. So she was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Had a panic attack, then moved over to, I was like, okay, one of my other influencers makes amazing content. I wonder if she could help me make content. And I asked her and she's like, oh my God, I would love to. I love creating content. I'm like, yeah, I know. I see your page, girlfriend. You're doing great. And so she said yes. And so she started helping me create content and we stumbled upon, she's like, hey, why don't you do like an ASMR thing? Maybe just like tap on bottles. I was like, isn't ASMR eating? Yeah. And she was like, it can be, but also it can be just like, just relaxing things and it's just the sounds of anything.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, so basically you're saying that all I have to do is be really quiet, tap on some bottles and just like, don't fucking talk.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, noted. And I did. And the first video hit 6 million on TikTok.
Holy crap.
Overnight.
Oh my gosh.
Overnight. And then we were like, oh my gosh. We're like, well, maybe this is, and it was with a influencer and she did like horse riding. She's just like popular in the horse world. Okay. So we're like, well, maybe it was just like because it was the influencer. And then we posted another one, just a random person that doesn't have any type of social following. And it did 9 million. And we were like, oh, what is this?
Sheesh.
Because when you're trying to find your niche, you have to throw everything against the wall.
Yeah.
Like you have to find what sticks and resonates with your audience. Like what can you make? I had no idea what fucking ASMR was. I didn't know. But I knew how to do a facial and I knew how to tap on bottles and I knew how to be quiet.
That is so amazing.
And I actually didn't even get mics till like 6 months in. Yeah, I just did it.
What were you recording with?
An iPhone 13 Pro.
Okay.
Out of all the stuff I've ever filmed, I find that the 13 Pro is the best. Okay. And so we were able to pick up some great audio.
Yeah.
We ended up, every single video we produced with ASMR was huge. My son, I produced a video of him shortly after when we started spiking, and overnight it hit like 45 million views.
Oh my gosh.
Insane. It was a 9-minute long facial. And this was like the first time that like TikTok has ever seen that long form content.
Yeah.
I gained, guess how many followers from this? This is wild. I still have yet to beat this record.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to say like 100K.
500K.
Shut up.
500K.
Oh
this
my
is,
gosh.
I'm sharing this because overnight my life was changed by one video. One video from a random thing that I had no idea what it was.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's incredible. That's so cool. So like, that's insane to hear because I am not on TikTok and you inspire me to go on TikTok, but it's all about creating good content. What is the best? What is it? What is your thought on that?
Dude, I don't make anything special for any like social media platform. Yeah. I take my same 1-minute facial. Yeah. And I produce it on Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok. All across. Okay. And I just post it. It's the same piece of content.
Yeah. Do you find that since it's a different audience that one does better than the other? Or is it all kind of consistent?
But a lot of times the videos that go viral typically will go viral on all of them.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm here like finding your niche is important.
It's super
and then
important.
Producing that same type of content and posting
over
on
and
all
over
platforms.
and over again.
What would you say is consistency a big part of it?
Huge.
I'm assuming.
You have to post once a week if you're going to grow.
Yeah.
To maintain your audience 3 times a week. But if you really want social growth, I post every single day without fail. Another example of this is YouTube. Okay. So last year, the beginning of the year, I was at 11K on YouTube. Okay. I started posting the same exact content that I post on TikTok. And also I did the same thing with Instagram. Okay. So I didn't really post on Instagram and YouTube this time last year. I was just like, it's so hard to grow, like fuck me, basically.
Yeah, giving up.
But like TikTok, I was like, TikTok loves me, I'm gonna stay over there. But then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna post every day, because the big difference is on TikTok I posted every single day without fail. On Instagram I would post like 3 times a week, and then YouTube none at all. Yeah. Maybe, no, I lied. We maybe did like a long form content facial, like here and there.
Is there an easy way to just upload it to all platforms, or is it just finding somebody that does it for you?
I have a guy who I pay $6. No, I pay him $5 per post to post it.
Oh, that's so nice. Do you find it like on Upwork, Fiverr?
Yeah, Upwork.
Okay. That's what we find a lot of like our outsourcing work through. Yeah. Now, do you recommend, like, do you have somebody in person that helps you film, or do you have a setup?
I pretty much do it all myself. Okay. And then I do have an assistant whenever she's available. She will help me get like secondary content, make sure my head's not like chopped off. You know, it sucks when you get a whole facial and you're like, this is gonna be great, especially when it's a big influencer and like half your head's cut off.
Like, dang it.
Or like the shots on your tits, you're like, great. Oh
my god. Yeah. You're like, whoa, it's not me to be exposed like that. Like, this is not the ASMR that I was trying to showcase. That's hilarious. Exactly. So now your content looks, it's incredible quality. Do you shoot with an iPhone still?
I still shoot with an iPhone.
Yeah, I love that.
There's a couple of reasons why, but I do want to really quick go back to, I just feel like you guys have to hear this. So posting consistently. Yes. I have to finish this topic because it's huge. Yes. So I started posting last year on Instagram and on YouTube every single day. The same content I'm already posting on TikTok. Yeah. At the beginning of that year on YouTube, I was at 11K. I hit 100K really shortly after, and now to this day, a year later, I'm at 800K on YouTube. And YouTube is where all of the money is at. All the creators like who work on the monetization fund, they're trying to get to YouTube. Yeah. And I'm so happy that I have a niche that everyone wants to watch me go to sleep at night and watch my long form content that I'm able to really monetize on. Yeah. Now on Instagram, huge. This is one of the biggest pieces of advice I give everybody is I found this out because on TikTok, when TikTok Shop came out, I thought I had to be a business account. So I switched from a creator account to a business account to be able to have a TikTok Shop. Well, I found out when I did that, I didn't realize at the time, but I just screwed myself because it wanted me to pay now for views versus leveraging organic views. Okay. And because they're like, oh, you're a business, we're going to make you pay. Oh, so But annoying. I didn't know that at the time. Yeah. And so it made me like, I couldn't like, I was growing 100K followers on TikTok every single month, and all of a sudden it just stopped. Ugh. And I was like, what's wrong? I'm like, I was transferring over to a new editor at the time. Is it that? Like, I was trying to figure it all out. I end up in the middle of the night, 6 months later, waking up and being like, it was literally, my husband's like, what the heck? Because I was like, we're a business account. And then I switched it over. And as soon as I did, it went back all to normal.
Wow.
Then I was like, oh no. This whole time for like 8 years of struggling in the paint with Instagram, I realized I've been a fucking business account.
Oh my gosh. We noticed that too with both platforms.
So I switched over. I shit you not. I wish I could make this up. I switched over to a creator account and I started posting every day. The next day, my first video, the same videos I've been posting, hit 2 million. Yes.
Oh my God.
And I was like, are you kidding me? Instagram?
All this time.
They were trying to make me pay for views. And so from there now, I was at like 45K the beginning of last year. And now I just hit 400K.
Oh my gosh. That's incredible.
From posting every single day and making sure that you're a creator account.
Yes.
You're welcome. It took me a long time to find that, guys.
Hopefully you just saved a bunch of people out there that is currently a business account. Yes. I've noticed that does make a huge difference because Instagram all these platforms want your money and they know if you're going to spend it, that's the type of account that you need. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that story, because I know that's going to help a ton of business owners out there. It's
Happy
those little details. I know. Thank you.
The sorrows that I've been through. I hope you guys can glean from it.
So ASMR is your jam. You bring in influencers, which I think is incredible, genius, and making sure they're in your area, because I think a lot of people mess up on that. I think people bring in like somebody that maybe a food page or something. I don't know. Like, I feel like it has to be kind of like lifestyle.
Yes, influencer. It does have to be lifestyle or beauty. Yeah. That's what I mean, the sports girls or fitness girls do not do that. The people that love their stuff are dudes. And dudes are not going to come get a facial. Like,
that's so true.
Yeah, I've learned that the hard way too.
You're like, this is not the type of clientele I try to attract. They're like creepy guys that like ASMR.
Yeah, there's some creepy guys out there too. But
no, hearing your story is so incredible and so inspiring, super helpful for other people out there. Now, as far as business goes, with like starting a business, and then there's a lot of topics that I want to touch on. So you building a storefront, can you remind me, were you always in a storefront location when you started?
So I'm actually not in a storefront now. I'm in a medical building.
Oh, nice. Okay. That's incredible. Yeah. So how has that been? Do you do a lot of referral based out of that building? Like with other businesses?
They don't really refer to me, but we are such a powerhouse online, and that's where all of our business comes from. And so we actually just recently were looking at maybe moving locations to in storefront. But then when I started looking at the numbers, I'm like, why? Yeah. We're kicking ass on bringing in our own clients, and we don't need the visibility, so why pay for the visibility? And basically what it boiled down to was my ego of being like, we want a storefront, but also I'm like, ooh, do you want to pay a fuck ton more? And I was like, no, we'll just tuck the ego back in, and we'll keep in our medical building. And no one ever complains about it, and the parking is always great, like it's always a great atmosphere, and I'm like, our second look, we'll invest the money in a second location.
That's smart. And I think that's such a good point, because you have to do it's like best for you. I think that we have this pressure, I guess. I mean, I feel the same way. I'm like, my next goal is to get a storefront location, but I just feel like you look at a lot of estheticians look at other estheticians, and you have to like look what's best and smartest for your business.
You also don't know their books. Exactly. And you don't know if they're profitable. Yep, you don't know if also they have an investor, or are they actually making money?
Yeah, that's so true. You don't know the ins and outs of anybody but your own business. And that's what you need to focus on. And now, as far as employees, how many employees do you have currently?
For Boho Medspa, because I actually have 4 businesses.
Okay, for Boho Medspa.
For Boho Medspa, we have 4 estheticians, and then we have my manager, and then an assistant manager. So that's 6.
Wow, incredible. So for employees, how has that been? Because I think that's a really hard skill, I guess you'd say, to find out who's best for your business. Totally. What are the things that you look for?
Well, I used to be Oprah Winfrey of jobs. And if you would tell me your heart and be like, I really want to do this, I'd be like, oh, okay, you get a job, you get a job. And I'm not a good hirer. Like, I'm not. And I really only got really good at this until I hired, and it wasn't even me, it was my manager. My manager was the best business decision my husband and I have done in the past 5-10 years.
Yeah.
Like, besides him coming on, like she just changed the game for me. I was dealing with so much drama, so much just like nobody wanting to do a job, nobody giving a fuck except me. And it was drowning me.
Yeah.
Before bringing her on, I was like, okay, if I can't figure this out, like I'm just gonna be solo. Like, I don't want to deal with all this. I can make more money just being solo, and I can just do content and be a solo SD.
Yeah.
That sounds great to me.
Amazing.
Without any drama, because it wasn't worth it. And by the end of the day, like, honestly, guys, I wasn't a level 1 for us. We were only making like profit maybe $1,000 per esthetician.
Okay.
Because we pay so high to them that we weren't making any money because we wanted to be a good place to work at. But at the end of the day, the people that I were hiring were not a good culture fit because they were always like, no, we want more. You're not taking care of us. You're not doing this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not making any money here.
I know.
I'm about to go under because I'm paying you guys so much and doing everything for you.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I had to switch my mindset and be like, who comes first is not my employees. It's myself and my family, because at the end of the day, this is why I'm doing this. And bringing on all this is for my family. So I have to think about them first. And that actually was a huge mind shift switch that was really hard for me, because I really do love people and I want them to feel like they're valued, because I didn't feel that in other places. So I wanted to give that to other people, but it was my detriment because I wasn't making any money. I'm like, I'm literally in my treatment room working to pay for everyone else's salaries.
Exactly.
Which is not okay. When that switched, and my manager, the biggest thing that she's like, you know what, we're gonna change this. We started from ground zero. We literally like, people, it was so wild, because I remember like just praying and being like, I am tired of all the drama. I don't want this anymore. I'm okay going back solo, and I want Boho to be whatever it's going to be. Well, when you put it out in the universe, be careful. Because the next day, 2 of my main estheticians quit.
Oh my goodness.
One got poached by another business. The other one decided to start her own business. And then the other one, we actually let her go first. And then the other 2 left. And I was like, oh, I'm down to solo. I did just say I'm going solo.
Like, here we go.
Yeah. But then my manager was like, Holly, what did you do? I was like, well, I kind of did this thing. And she was like, you said what to the universe? I was like, I know. She's like, can you warn me next time? I'm like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. She's like, this is great though, because now we can start over. We can hire right. We're going to hire based off of culture. What do we want the person to be? So one of the biggest things that she looks for, and I'm learning from her, because I'm not an expert at everything, clearly.
Yeah.
But Megan is. My manager was the Starbucks manager for 20 years. And so she's like, I've interviewed a lot of people. But she says that she looks for what is the culture, right? And does that person fit the culture? And then she hires off of passion. Do they care more about making money, or are they really caring about the person and the skin? Because money is going to come with this job, but you can't really train passion. Are you just doing it because I'm here to make I can make $20 an hour with tips, you know? Or whatever that may be. There is great money in the aesthetic industry. Are you here for that, or are you here for because you actually care about people? Yeah. She looks for healers. And none of my old employees have ever resonated as a skin healer. And she's like, we're gonna find the skin healers. And it's like night and day difference. Everybody has the same vibe. Everyone's here to heal. Everyone loves crystals and Reiki. And when we do all those trainings, they're like thriving. And then I happen to hire a bunch of skin nerds. So like all of them are really passionate about skin and are very intellectual, which is very hard to find in our industry, quite frankly.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
I agree. And I mean, thank you so much for sharing that. That is such valuable information. I want to touch on hiring a manager, because it seems like just hearing your story, that was a huge pivotal point in your business. So for me, even just thinking about the future of hiring again, because I went through not a similar situation. I hired one employee, but it sounds like you had multiple, but it was just not a good experience for me. And it kind of closed off that door for me, because I felt like hiring out of emotion, and maybe this isn't my skill set. So delegating that role in your business seems like it was a huge pivot point for you. And that's just super inspiring, because when you're hiring on somebody that has that skill set, they are going to thrive and create that culture for you, what I'm hearing. So were you part of the hiring process with her?
A little bit, but most of it's just her.
Okay.
So she's like, I don't know an esthetician yet. We had to like teach her aesthetic language because she comes from Starbucks.
Yeah.
But she's like, I know people.
Yeah.
Right. And so she's like, I think this person is a good culture fit for us, but can they actually do the job? I don't know. So then I would watch the facial.
Gotcha.
And now I'm training my lead esthetician to watch facials, because my team is so good now, and I am so blessed that I'm actually retiring from my treatment room in May.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm going full-time being on content creator and working on celebrities and influencers.
Oh my gosh.
I won't be open to the general public anymore.
Wow.
And that's like huge, because literally a year and a half ago, I was by myself doing everything. But now our team is just such a rock stars and my manager literally runs everything. Like we could go move to Costa Rica for like probably 6 months and everything would run so smoothly.
Congratulations.
And I could never imagine that I could say that today.
Yeah. And that's amazing. I'm so curious. What does that look like? Are you going to have your own space, or are you still going to be in the same building?
No, whenever I film influencers, they'll come in. But then I'm also going to LA a lot, and I'm starting to treat people over that way.
Wow. So you're going to be traveling, and then in the treatment room, you're basically going to be exclusive, a celebrity facialist.
Yes.
With the Boho experience.
Yes, but not because I want to be that bougie. It's because I had to come to Jesus meeting with myself a couple months ago, because I kept getting panic attacks in my treatment room. I just felt like I couldn't breathe. I'm like, what's wrong with me? I don't understand. Like, everything is running smoothly, blah, blah, blah. But I've learned this in the past year to listen to my body. Whatever my body is telling me, I need to listen. And so this is my body saying, we need to get the fuck out of here. And the reason why is because I'm at a point in my business where everything is exploding, and I have to go on the PR side of my business. I have to go do the podcast. I have to go treat the different people, go to meet and greets to grow my business on a level that nobody else can grow but me, because I'm the face of my business. Yeah. So I watched the Martha Stewart show on Netflix. And she is an interesting bird, but what I will say that I pulled away from it is that she creates things and then she creates again and moves on. Like she creates systems and then moves on to the next thing. And so when I was watching this, I was like, oh my gosh, it's time for me to go. Either I stay in my treatment room and keep doing what I'm doing. I've already been doing the same thing for 11 years. Or you have this window that's opening and you can go grow your business and have the dream of having a franchise and so much more, but you have to go.
Absolutely. And you're the face of the brand. Do people care when they go in? Are they asking specifically for Holly?
They are.
Is that hard to deal with them not being accepting to go see another provider?
What helps mitigate that is that pricing yourself higher than other people.
Gotcha.
When you hear my price is $550 for treatment. No matter what you get with me, it's $550 because I charge by the hour. And when you say that to somebody, or you can do the same hour service for $250, they're like, oh, I'm gonna go the $250 route. Yeah. So it brings me clients that are either super fans or that are really, really serious about skin correction. And that's actually the clients that I want. I do like giving a nice, relaxing facial, but I love marrying it with corrective modalities. I'm here to help people change their skin, change their life, because I do a lot of energetic medicine as well that I don't really talk about, but I do a lot of energy work and Reiki, and I merge all these different modalities into one experience. And that's why we call our stuff, and I like how you call it as well, experiences instead of facials.
Yeah, I love the word experience. It's my favorite word to just explain, because it is an experience, of course, in the treatment room. And so in modalities, does that look like they're getting a hydrofacial, skin pen? Do you do like combo treatments?
Can be. I do a lot of combination treatments.
Okay.
And in order to be also on my books, is you do have to sign up for a 6-month membership with me.
Okay.
This helps me weed out people that are not serious about their skin, because I only have so much time.
Yeah.
And even before I created this for myself, I was already at the point where I needed to leave my treatment room.
Yeah.
And so what made me price myself this way is like, okay, if I can't work on my business and this is something that's passion, what's worth my time?
Yeah.
And we came up with $550, and it's actually a deal because I do whatever the skin needs within an hour. So if you need a hydrofacial skin pen, I'm going to do it. If you need an IPL, which my machine now is paid off. So I have zero consumable costs with an IPL and Resurfix, and then throwing in like an oxygen treatment. Like my cost is so low, to be honest, but it's because my lasers are paid off. And then in the market industry, that's like a crazy value that people cannot get for $550. You can't get an IPL and skin pen treatment, face and neck and chest for $550. You can't.
No.
And so this also is a concept that we are rolling out, and this is one of our franchisable models.
Wow. Incredible. It's genius. I love it. Oh my gosh. I'm like, my brain's exploding right now. It's so cool.
And the reason why we also went there is because so many estheticians do not know how to sell. It's really scary to tell people, hey, you need a $400 skin pen treatment, a $300, whatever. Skin pen, I feel like, is pretty diverse in America, and a lot of people offer skin pen. I feel like the average price is probably $300 and plus. And so to tell somebody, hey, you need this $300 service when you are barely making rent, you start to get in your head, you think that they have the same money you do, and that's not the case. And so you project that onto them, and then you don't say anything. And so I have dealt with this. Is one of the most painful part of my businesses is people being scared to recommend to people what they actually need in their skin. But the thing is Kathy's coming in for you to tell her what to do to help change your skin. And if you can't change her skin, they're going to leave. And there's been so many times where I've had a turnover of somebody and I take on their clients and they're like, oh, I'm so glad to see you. Like, I just kept doing hydrofacials and this lady's like 60 years old. I'm like, you need microneedling. And she's like, oh yeah, no one ever told me.
Oh my gosh. You're like, what are you doing?
No, and it's the esthetician. And they were like, I was just waiting. And so then I make a whole treatment plan. They're like, yes, I'm ready to go. All this money was just sitting here. They were just scared to ask, or just tell them, not even ask. You don't have to pressure anybody, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So my husband and I started brainstorming. I'm like, what if we just charge one single price, and all the estheticians have to do is, if you want to do a spa land, it's $250. If you want to do corrective, it's $450 for an hour, and all you have to do is get them over to a 6-month plan. Well, all the estheticians were like, $450? We could do IPL and microneedling and dermaplaning for $450? They're like, Holly, we got to be charging more. I'm like, perfect. You think this is low. You know that you can. Then I'm like, this is the right price. Because we're making actually really great money on that price point. Can you imagine if every single hour you're making $450?
Yeah, that's incredible.
And your estheticians on team think that everyone's getting a sick deal. They're like, this is amazing. You need this. So they're bringing that passion and that excitement, and they're not scared to sell an $800 service anymore. They're like, it's only $450.
I know. It's a steal. You need to get it on right now.
And so now our average ticket in Boho is actually $400 service without product.
Wow.
And Skin Better, pairing that with Skin Better.
Oh my gosh. Skin Better is the best.
So good.
No, that's so inspiring to hear that. And I think that simplifying the options for clients so that they're not overwhelmed. And I'm hearing that's what you're doing a lot, is like you're literally telling the client what to do, and you're not giving them like 5 different membership options. Like to me, whenever I see a membership that has so many different options, I'm like, just tell me what to do. It's so annoying. I'm like, I don't care that, you know, the highest membership, if there's 5 levels and one says it includes it all, I'm like, just tell me what to do. You're overwhelming me. So I love the simplicity of your services and how you make it one price point, and that way you can gauge your profit margins better.
Totally. We can always plan our profit margins.
Exactly. Because then it gets like, oh my gosh, are we making enough? You know, if you have employees, it complicates things, because you're like, are we profiting? So that way you can be consistent all the time and not have to like 1 month's better, 1 month's like, you know, horrible. But love that. I want to talk about the brands that you carried when you first started and what you're doing now, because you know you have your own skincare line. I want to get there. But first, let's talk about your background, what you started with, and then how you've transitioned into Skin Better and your own skincare line.
So I started with Rhonda Allison. That's where I learned a lot of things from. My rep was incredible. She taught me how to dermaplane, which is so funny now, because like she was like literally like, it's just like this. And that was it. I was like, oh, okay. And then like I figured it out from there and like made my own way of dermaplaning. But I have taken like dermaplane pro classes since then. But it's funny how like little training that we really do get in the industry. And I think that's why so many people are craving more knowledge, because there's just such a lack of education, unfortunately, in the industry.
I agree.
And if you don't know how to roll with it and expound upon or teach yourself, you're pretty much screwed.
Oh yeah, I agree. You're just like, what are you going to do? Sit there and expect the answer to magically appear?
No, it doesn't work like that. But loved Ron Allison. Then my rep ended up moving over to Circadia. Okay. And she introduced me to that line. It was basically like Ron Allison, but like on steroids. There was way more science behind it, and they had so much literature that I've been like looking the whole internet for. Yeah. And I was like, it's all in one place, because they have this huge like skin Bible. It's like so thick and big. And it's written by Dr. Brooklise, and I just thought it was incredible. And so from there, I was open to trying more products. And so I just fell in love. I fell in love with the education that Circadia provided. I feel like Circadia gave me such a phenomenal foundation that my school didn't teach me. And so I'm very grateful for Circadia in that way.
Yeah. Awesome. And then you just brought on Skin Better, I would say like 6 months ago, or was it a year?
Actually, it's been around a year.
Okay. But I feel like it went by fast.
Well, I brought it on a year ago. But then we didn't start really rolling with them until this past summertime.
Gotcha.
We like had it on our shelf because it was brought on by popular demand. All of my clients kept asking for Skin Better, and I was like, no, I don't want to be like everybody. Everybody and their mom sells Skin Better, and I just don't want to do it. And then one day I had this light bulb moment. I'm like, Holly, I heard like a little voice. It was like, Holly, if they're not buying from you, they're buying from somebody
I'm getting
else.
ASMR right now. This is so cool.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm leaving money on the table. And so as soon as we brought it on, I was like, you know what, fine, I'm gonna bring it on. I'd watched them many years. I'm not an early adopter. I have to like watch things for a long time before I endorse things. And so I brought him on, and it just like sold itself. I've never seen a line that sold itself.
Oh yeah.
And
it's like a specific clientele that just knows Skin Better. They want Skin Better, and they just roll with it.
It's wild. I can't wait to talk more about that in a second. But then this past summer, I had like a meeting with Skin Better, and I was like, listen, I am about to dissolve a particular line and no longer aligns with me. And honestly, I'm seeing way more results with Skin Better than I ever have with any line. Like the things that I could do with Skin Better. Yeah. I was shooketh. I was good at my craft, but now I'm a fucking skin god with Skin Better. Okay, my treatments with Skin Better, I'm like,
they're incredible.
I'm like, call me mommy.
Yes,
yeah, Skin mommy.
Yes, no, Skin.
And it's crazy because my clients will come back and they'll be like, they've been on Circadia for many, many years. Yeah, they switch over to Skin Better, and they're like, oh, I'm like, I know. Yeah. Yes. And they're like, what else do they have? And Skin Better is not cheap by any means at all. But it just flew off my shelf. Yeah. So I'm like, Skin Better, I want to make you my main line. But if I make you my main line, this is what it's going to look like. Yeah. And so I asked for a lot of support. Yeah. And that is one thing that I would, if you guys can glean from me, is ask. Always ask for the moon. And the answer is always going to be no unless you ask it. So I ask for outrageous shit all the time. And when people say yes to me, I'm always like, you know what? Really? Yeah. I thought you were going to say no. But my husband and I laugh all the time. And he was like, you got that? I'm like, yeah, I got that.
I love that. Oh my God.
And I wish I would have asked these things sooner. Even like socially now, you were at the state, but even at like 30K followers, you can be asking brands for compensation for like free product. Yeah. And I didn't do that until like a year ago. And now they're like, here's our ambassador program. I'm like, this is, in my influencer world, this is like really bad compared to, and I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. Like I'm not at 30K followers. This is something that you would present to like a micro influencer, not a mega influencer.
Absolutely.
But skincare brands, unfortunately, don't understand that.
Yeah,
so
I know.
There's some gaps there.
I agree. I think that the skincare world is so different than the influencer world, if that makes sense.
Totally.
Like being an esthetician, it's like you said, like you have to ask, you have to put your foot in the door and just be like, this is what I want, this is what I need, and ask and you shall receive, right? So why did you dissolve Circadia? I'm so curious. Was it just like the results, or
mainly the results? Okay. And then we just don't get along personality wise. Okay. I've been with them for 9 years because they treated me well to a degree. But then when I started to become big on social media, and they were every person I sent to them, they were supposed to give me just 10% off my order. Yeah. That's not very much. Every trade show I would go to, everybody in the whole booth would be like, we get so much business from you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But then when I asked my rep, hey, do I have a coupon for a discount? No, Holly, sorry, no one's coming from you. Yes. For years, it went like that. I've only gotten in 2 years, 20% off order. Sorry, it's 20%, not 10.
Okay.
One.
Okay.
And then I would ask like other reps, I'm like, hey, like, more boost. I'm like, yeah, are you sure people are coming to me? They're like, yes.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, and then whenever I go to award galas, their whole team would be like, the in-house team would like, Holly, you changed our business so much. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And so I just felt incredibly used.
Yeah.
And then like anytime other things would come up of like, hey, let's use, like, we're looking for somebody to represent our brand, they would never pick me. Even like there would be like social media awards that would go out, like, and I never won a social media award from them. Yeah. Like I just felt so
unsupported.
Yes, but also just like not appreciative. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And even in galas, they would stick me in the back, but I'm winning their top single location. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm sending you guys so much money and I don't feel supported at all. Yeah. And I looked for many years because I wanted to leave a long time ago. Yeah. Because I don't want to be at a place where people don't value me. I don't want to go to a place where I feel like I'm like the black sheep. They're like, oh, we have to put up with Holly. Yeah. Here she is again. She just spends, over $100K a month with, a year with us. We're just, we're going to put up with this. Yeah. That's what I felt like. I even approached them. I was like, hey, like, have I done something wrong? Yeah. They were like, no, we love you. We're like, okay. Yeah. Okay.
You're like, doesn't feel like it.
So I wanted to leave. Yeah. Many years prior. Okay. But I did love the results that I gave. And I'm one, like I told you, I'm not an early adapter. And I kept trying brands and seeing like, ooh, do I like the results from this? And I didn't. And my clients were such in love with Circadia that I'm like, I feel like I was trapped. Yeah. And then I started to build them on TikTok. And I was making really great money on TikTok Shop with Circadia. What was this? I think it was like last December. At the end of the month, I got a call and they're like, Holly, you have to take everything down from TikTok. You're no longer allowed to do TikTok with us. And if you don't, you're not allowed to place any more orders. So overnight, I lost, guys, like $30K a month.
Oh my goodness. That's a big jump.
And that sparked me to say, never again will I build another brand like I had Circadia, because so big on TikTok that everyone thought I owned Circadia. Yeah. Oh I went hard for them. I never once asked them to pay for any videos. Yeah. Like none of that. And I couldn't even get a referral bonus back on my discount on my order. Yeah. So I was like, that was like the last straw that like broke the camel's back. I'm like, I have to find a way out of this. Yeah. And so, but then I heard a little voice in my head. It's like, Holly, we're never allowed to go in this place again. You're going to make your own fucking line. Yeah. Like, you're going to sell wherever you want to sell it. And so that's where my own line began. And I always wanted to do it. I just didn't know the timing of things. Yeah. Ever since I became an esthetician, I was like, one day I want to be like the Rhonda Allison, the Renee Verleau, and have my own skincare line. But you don't know how things are going to happen. Yeah. It took a lot of hurt from me to finally push me to where I'm supposed to go, which is my own line. But I wanted a supporting line still that gave me a lot of correction and that I could really lean on. That's my medical line and that's Skin Better for me. Yeah. But it took me years to find it. Yeah. So I'm happy I finally did.
I'm so happy for you. And thank you so much for sharing your story, because I know in the skincare industry, a lot of people don't know the back end of things. It's like a lot of people don't get to the point where you are, which is like incredibly successful. And a lot of people don't get to experience, feeling the feelings that you went through of not feeling supported. And I think that hearing your story was really inspiring to see you blossom into your own person and you bringing on a brand that values you and you as a provider. What support do you get now that you maybe didn't receive in the past with the brand? What do you look for? Like, what should an esthetician look for as far as support goes?
I think bulk buying really needs to be a thing. Skin Better offers that to anybody. Yeah. If you order X amount, then you're gonna get these things for free, which is nice. I think the biggest thing for me is your rep greatly matters. My rep, I could text her, I could call her and she would answer the phone. Wow. Or I get anything that I need, she will get it to me within like 2 minutes. And the answer is always yes. Yeah. Always. She's like, Holly, if you want to do a giveaway, yes. Circadia? No. Oh no, I don't know. Dude,
just try and work together.
I know. Yeah. I would give things all the time. And Skin Better, the answer is always like, whatever you need, Holly, we're here to support you. If you want to get influencers on some product, yes, we will send out some product for you. Let's get these people on product.
Yeah.
Like, they're so supportive, and it's things that like are not crazy.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, can you please provide the regimen to this influencer that has 11 million followers?
And they see the value of what that's going to do for their business instead of being like cheap and not understanding the value and using somebody, unfortunately. Yeah.
So you're like, what? And so I was having to pay out for regimens for people, which I don't feel like I should, because they're going to eventually share it on their page. Yeah. And then that grows the brand even more. And Skin Better gets that.
Yeah. That's, I agree. I think Skin Better, that brand, Skin Better as a whole, like I've gotten the most, I guess, support with my reps in the past, but I do think that having a good rep makes a big difference because I've had incredible reps, and I've had reps that say, like, I personally had reps that say like, no, sorry, with Skin Better. So I think your rep truly does matter, based on your support. And I mean, you're so right. Like, that's the biggest thing when it comes down to like the brands that align with you. And like, why would you promote something that you like believe in, but you're not getting that support and that recognition with the brand? Now let's talk about your skincare line and what products that you offer. Because I've used your cleansing balm and I love it. It smells so amazing, of course. And I know are the ice globes newer?
They are new. I haven't fully released them on my page yet. Okay. So they're like, no, it's fine. I by the time this probably rolls out, it will be on the page and stuff like that.
Perfect.
For you, editing point, I want to go back really quick to Circadia, because I do have to say like a couple more good things about them.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah.
I really do believe that every esthetician, if you're a baby esty in particular, starting out with Circadia, they provide so much education that is the foundation you really need to blossom. And I think they do a phenomenal job on education. That is where the brand shines the most. So new esties, go start a Circadia opening order. They're going to be great. And they actually are so good at helping the little guys out. Like, they supported me so well until I got bigger and I just needed more support. But until then, they were great. We just ended up, it was time for me to go. Yeah. So, but as a starting line, Circadia is phenomenal. When you can have a medical director and level up your skincare, bring on Skin Better as soon as you can.
Yeah, I agree. That's amazing advice. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And then as far as I want to talk about your products now.
Yes. Okay.
Let's talk about the good stuff.
I have to put that in there because off thing, I cannot just keep I'm not trying to bash Circadia. Yeah. Okay. It's just like my story, and I have to put in some good things because there are good things to share with them. Yeah. I just don't want people to take, oh, she's just bashing them, because this is just my story. No, totally. And there's so many other estheticians that love them and have really great experiences with them. But my journey just is going a different way. Yeah. And when I look back on it, I couldn't go to where I'm going if I stayed with Circadia.
Yeah, I get it. And I think that as you grow and you blossom, it's just like friends. If you you outgrow some friends, and they may support you until you reach a certain point where you just need more and better. You need better friends, right? Like, you outgrow people and you can outgrow brands. That's okay. And I always say, you may have an opinion a year ago that's a different opinion than today. Like, it's okay to change your perspective and your beliefs and your values, because you're growing as a person too. It's not like you're just staying stagnant. And it's been really cool to see your growth of you going from a solo esthetician to bringing on employees and now creating your own skincare line and blossoming into this beautiful person. And let's talk about your cleansing balm.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, so this is my cleansing balm. I feel like that's my hook, guys. Yes. So my cleansing balm smells like a dreamsicle. But to be honest with you guys, this one does not this round, because in manufacturing, it is a whole nother ball game, a whole nother rodeo, guys, that you think, oh yeah, I'm going to make my own skincare line. It's going to be really easy.
It's far from it.
One, it's hella expensive. And two, it's a lot of work. So like, for example, I had moved over to new lab because I had some issues with my old lab. So now I'm moving over to a new lab with this formulation. Yeah. And the new texture, the way it feels, is amazing. But they missed the biggest part. They didn't put enough orange in it. So now it doesn't smell like a dreamsicle. And now everyone's railing me. You can't smell it.
Come on.
It's like
Wait.
non-scented.
Oh, it kind of smells like Like vanilla.
Yes. I did get him to add more vanilla, but he didn't bring enough orange in it.
Really, really good, but the orange is missing. We need the orange.
We need the orange.
Yes.
So I'm like,
the
no.
creamsicle, the whole part.
Yes. And then they missed my hero ingredients in it. I'm like, how did you miss my Yarrow root and my comfy and my sea buckthorn?
Can I feel it?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Wait, do you want me to grab something so I'm not like...
It'll be okay. Olive. My kids play with that all the time.
Okay, good. It still feels amazing.
It's actually, the texture is improved because it
feels so smooth now.
It really liquefies on the skin really quickly. I love it.
What's your favorite thing about this balm?
Ooh, there's so many things. My hero ingredients, actually.
Okay.
It's castor oil is one of the bigger bases. Castor oil is the master penetrator oil, so it's also very anti-inflammatory. But because it's the master penetrator, it's going to push my yarrow root and my comfy and my sea buckthorn deeper into the skin. Okay. And all of those herbs are anti-inflammatory. So even though it does have coconut oil in it, which is normally comedogenic to acne, I do not find that. I actually find that my oil, this helps fix people's breakouts.
Wow.
The pictures that I'm starting to get back of people's face being less red and also less broken out just by the cleansing balm has honestly been blowing my mind. And I'm like, yes.
Incredible. I love it.
And I love the way it smells.
Yeah. It's to die for. I love this cleanser.
So good.
It's so fun. And you use this a lot in the treatment room. Is this like your number one base cleanse?
Yes. So whenever I make things, I want them to be multi-purpose. I love a good multitasking queen. And so this is my opening cleanse. This is what I do like my opening massage hand movements with. And then I leave it on, and then I do my gua sha on top because it's my gua sha medium. And then I'll go in and do my facial bubble bath with the brushes on top. Okay. Now, if they're not wearing makeup, I will not do the gel cleanse, and I will still leave it on, and I will do my buccal massage with it. Ooh. Or even my dermaplaning with it.
Okay. And I'm sure people are loving like the scent while they're getting the relaxation.
Engulfed in like a dreamsicle smell. It's heaven.
Oh my gosh. And you're like ASMR, like everything's like including the ASMR, it all takes like an hour?
No. So you have to request ASMR.
Oh,
it's not everything is ASMR, but I show the ASMR on my page because that's what I'm known for, and that's what gets me viewership is the ASMR parts of it. Okay. But it's all relaxing and very tranquil whenever you come in. Okay. But not all of our services are ASMR because it takes more time to tap on bottles and to open them up and stuff. But
so it's like an add-on essentially, or
yes,
is it a completely different?
Both.
Okay.
So we have it as an add-on right now. But then I started getting comments of like, oh, you didn't put the Pop Rocks in my mouth. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's whatever. That was
sorry.
I'm like, that was for content. And I was like, oh yeah, but people are expecting it. And I didn't, when you're creating content, like I create things based off of really like, I take genres of ASMR. Yeah. And I marry it with facials. Mm-hmm. Pop Rocks is a huge thing, or eating candy is a huge ASMR trigger. Yeah. And so I just marry it. So I was like, guys, this was for content. This wasn't real life.
I know.
But then now I realize like people are traveling for the Pop Rock cleanser. And I'm like, oh shit. So now I'm coming out with an ASMR cleanser that we will feed you Pop Rocks, and we do do a slime mask. And then I actually just partnered with OG Slime, which are you familiar with OG Slime?
Yes,
at all?
I see it on Instagram all the time.
So we're going to be doing they're making a custom slime for me, and then we'll give them out to our clients after, because we'll play with the slime in the treatment, and then they'll get to take home the slime too.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool. This is genius. You're like literally branching out, and you're exploding like a little butterfly. I love it. Of course.
And then I'm taking it a step further, because whenever you listen to things in the mic, it translates different, right? Than even in person. Because right now we call it like mini ASMR add-on, where you can like you'll just hear like this in your ear, you know, and you'll hear like the tapping and things like that. But mics elevate it to a whole nother level.
Oh yeah.
So right now I'm in the midst of making a pre-recording that people will listen to, headphones that'll go in the back of their ear, like the bones, and you'll be able to hear everything married in with like me giving affirmations too. And it's all like timed that you'll hear it.
Wow, incredible.
Because originally we were like, let's put a mic there and let them hearing everything. But I'm like, what happens?
That's a whole new experience. That's a level. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So genius. I'm so excited to see that unfold.
So that one will be our ASMR facial that people can book. And that one is a true like float away, experience the sound of a facial.
Yeah. Incredible. I love it.
Thank you.
And so where can people buy the cleansing balm?
On Amazon, or on TikTok Shop, or on my own shopping website, bohemianskin.com.
Awesome. I love it. And the globes. Let's talk about the globes.
The globes
Beautiful. And branding. Let's talk about the rebranding.
So we are known for facial bubble baths, right? We're known for like relaxing ASMR vibes. And one of my favorite sounds is the bubble pops. And so we're still going Boho Medspa because that's what we're known for. But we're adding more of ASMR elements. So I don't know if you guys can see this. But it's very like psychedelic-y, and our whole thing is all about bubbles. And so we do a lot of ice globes, and who makes the best ice globes? We know the Esty Bestie. And so this is a partner collab with her and me. And so these are the prettiest ice globes. And what I want to do is we're going to make them limited edition. So my goal is maybe the next ones to have bubbles in them. But these have butterflies in them.
Oh, I love that.
And the butterflies glow in the dark. So if you charge it under your mag lamp, and then whenever you turn it off, you'll be able to see all of that.
That's so cool.
But these are, I want to say they're like 43 for these, and you can buy these on my shopping website as well. But our clients love them, and then also, of course, they're beautiful in content because they really stand out.
Do they stay pretty cool?
They do.
Okay.
They do.
Awesome.
I mean, even now they're not even cold, but you can feel them.
Oh my gosh.
But they are cold
I feel like
still.
this would just like feel so nice on the skin. Do you use them a lot with masks, like sheet masks?
Sheet masks.
Okay.
Or you can even do it as a finisher if you have like a serum that's more like oily kind of finish. That way you can have some glide with it. And massaging with this feels really good. And then also you're hearing the sounds of all the bubbles as it rotates on your face.
I love it. I'm like, can we get it in the mic right now?
Yeah. So.
Oh my gosh.
And so every time you're rolling on the face, always start from like, I hold them like this. Hold on, I hold it like this. So that way, like when I'm going downwards, they're always hearing that bubble. Blub, blub, blub.
I was playing with them when you were going to the bathroom. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so satisfying.
Yes, the blub, blub, blub sound. Yeah, everyone loves it. So,
incredible.
And then what's nice, a lot of the glass globes, they break a lot. So we have a little kit that they just stay in. So you just like pop them in your refrigerator because if they're like this, they will roll and break, and they're so sad whenever they break. But just
I know.
keep them in their little container, and they will serve you well.
Yes, tips.
So this is my gift for you.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited. I love, as you know, we love creating content as well.
You make stunning content.
Thank
you.
I can't wait to do this. We recorded your cleansing balm, and truthfully, my hands looked really crusty, and, and I was like, that is way too HD of my hands. So I was like, why did they look so dry? So we'll try again.
I love that. Well, no worries. Well, I gave you another one.
Thank you so much. Well, I still have this. I use this one. I can't get enough of the smell. I noticed that you use it with dermaplaning too.
Yes, I love it as a dermaplaning medium.
Okay, perfect.
What's nice is like you don't have to, especially if the client's not wearing makeup, I just get a bigger dollop and I'm able to do a buccal massage, dermaplaning, and my opening cleanse with my gua sha with no additional product.
Yeah.
So it also saves me time to have to like scoop something out again.
Oh my gosh. And now that you're like finalizing everything, how long did the process take really quickly to create your own skincare line? Was it like a year process?
Yeah.
Okay.
But most of the time it's 6 months. I'm just really, really picky.
Okay.
And my chemist probably like low-key hates me, but also loves me because I'm like, no, this isn't perfect. This isn't perfect. And he's just like, we've already done. He was like, literally I was on the call with him and I was like, dude, we missed the orange. And he's like, we've done like 30 renditions of your balm, which we have. He like has, he's like, I have a whole box of this. I'm like, yeah, but we have to get it till it's perfect.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So it's a little stressful on that. And then also it's a lot more money than people think. And more insider stuff is most people, their products are white labeled. That's what also I feel like makes Circadia a little bit more different. And also, actually, I can't really speak to Skin Better. I don't think they're white labeled because they have patents on things. But most skincare lines out there, even bigger lines, they're like, surely not. They're white labeled. And so
I've seen it.
When I was looking to starting my own product and I brought on business coaching for it because I was trying to do it and I couldn't get labs to talk to me because they want you to do 5,000 to 10,000 units at once. And that is a lot. And we're talking like they're $12 a piece. So you're like, it's not even a discount from like what you're spending with another brand. It's just you're spending more to slap your own label on it. And I'm like, oh, that's so much of an investment and not even to be my own product that I want. So I ended up, they wouldn't like talk to me. I ended up hiring a business coach to help me get into labs because she has connections.
Gotcha.
And basically she's like, Holly, every single product's light labeled. You're going to have to settle for white labeling, but you can make some adjustments. Okay. Like everyone's base is the same, but then you can add your herbs, you can add this. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, sad, because that's not what I wanted. I have it in my brain, like what I want things to do. And some of the things aren't even on the market that I want. But I know it's possible.
Yeah.
And she's like, nope, this is how it is. And so I got so blessed because my first round was more white labeling stuff, and that's youth serum. That's actually my first product. Yeah. But I adjusted some things, but it just didn't go off as the way I wanted it to. And it's a great product, but it's not like something I actually created, not like this. Yeah. Where it's like my essence of everything I wanted.
Absolutely.
And so I spoke last year at the Dallas Skin Convention, and I was speaking on like how to sell products on TikTok. And a guy from the audience came up to me afterwards, and he's like, hey, he goes, I know you have your balm, but like you need to have your own line. I was like, that's the dream. And he goes, no, really, I'm a lab and I create your product from scratch. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, my lab is made for smaller people, not like, he goes, we could do like 1,000 run if you wanted to. I was like, no way. And so now, thanks to him, I'm actually able to release more products this year, which would normally, because I'm not taking a loan out for things, because each product costs around like $100K from marketing to everything. Okay. You can only do that, like rolling out products very slowly because of that, especially if you're making it yourself, not a white labeled. So this year I have 3 to 4 products coming out.
That's so exciting.
So
do they pair with Skin Better pretty well, or is it completely different?
They do. Bohemia Skin is a different target market, but also can be for older people too.
Gotcha.
So Skin Better is going to be my heavy hitter corrective skincare line, mainly for aging, right? But someone who's 20 years old that wants to clean their skin or like clear up their acne or whatever, like $160 is just not affordable. And especially being on social selling, I really wanted to be more affordable for everybody. Absolutely. Because I do think that you should be able to afford good skin. And so my line will be kind of like a Tula price point or a little bit under Drunk Elephant, and being more digestible for people.
Gotcha. So more so practicing with the Skin Better is like bringing on for your anti-aging clients. And then because you have a platform, you're being smart about it and being like super strategic with the products that you're advertising on TikTok.
So like this is $29.99. Yeah. This is easy for people just to like no brainer, like add it to the cart.
Like I want to smell this. I want to experience this.
But if this was $50, it would barely sell. Yeah. Would I make more money? Yes, per sell, but not looking on the grand scheme of things where I could sell these like hotcakes like I do now because the price is right. Wow. And so I wanted a line that I could sell anywhere and just sell it like hotcakes.
Yeah. And so genius. What's your favorite Skin Better product?
Ooh, I love Interfuse Face and Neck.
Yeah, it is. It's like
Thanks for your face.
Oh my gosh. Yep. We almost said that at the same time. I love Alpharet. I mean, it's like the best. Too. Everybody has different opinions about sensitive skin, but like I truly feel like my skin is very reactive. So like I that's the only product that doesn't make my face freak out when it comes to like retinols and things like that. But yeah, I love Skin Better. I love everything about you and everything, and your whole branding has been so amazing to watch you grow. And like we talked before the podcast, you know, you're definitely somebody that we look up to, and just so excited to finally meet in person and get to know you better. But if you had I always ask, if you had one piece of advice to give to a newer esthetician, what would it be?
This is hard. Newer's hard because I'm such like an old esty. Like it's like hard to remember back in the day, but honestly, work at Sephora. I know that is like not what people want to hear, but Sephora will teach you how to sell products because nobody wants to be a salesperson. And at the end of the day, when you're an esthetician, you are a salesperson, whether you want to be or not, because you have to sell yourself. And then you also have to sell your clients to keep coming back to you of wanting the treatments in the first place. So Sephora will teach you how to talk to the general public about skincare. Also, you get to learn ingredients that are in popular skincare brands. So then you can say, oh, if you like this Drunk Elephant moisturizer, you're going to like this moisturizer by skin better that is more effective, and you can give them the sciences, and then they'll feel and be like, oh, this is so nice. Like, so whenever you know all the back history on products and how to convert and talk to people, like it makes you just a powerhouse. And then to businesses looking to take you on as an esthetician, you can say, hey, I've worked out a year from Sephora and I know how to sell. That matters a lot to businesses because they're looking for people who can sell themselves.
Yeah. Incredible advice.
In closing, to grow a massive brand, you need a couple things. One, you got to start posting every day. Start treating social media like it's a business because it truly can be, and it will change your life overnight. It has for me. It is wild whenever you have influence, how many doors will open for you. And I am just shooketh. So whatever is in your drafts, go ahead and post it because it might be the video that just made it viral for you to put you on the map. Also, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just fucking do it, okay? Just post the damn thing. Yes. And post it every single day, and I promise you will see growth from it. The next one is find your niche. You have to stand out. When everybody starts to look the same as everybody else, you don't stand out anymore, and you're not going to be a brand that people talk about. But in order to find your niche, you have to be okay with getting the low views. You have to keep trying different things. What I like to do is give the same piece of information, but film it in different ways and see which one resonated with your audience the best.
Awesome.
And one more?
Oh, no. Sorry. Yes, please. Yes. The grand finale.
Okay. And the last one is leverage all the platforms. Whatever you're creating for one platform, just post it on all of it. Because if you can start getting paid on TikTok and on YouTube for the content that you're producing, like, it is wild. I will tell you guys, not to brag, but just to inspire, August last year, I made $25,000 just on YouTube alone from monetization, not even brand deals. And I've been chasing that number ever since, okay? That has been my highest.
Oh my gosh.
But that was one video that I didn't, like, there was a couple videos. And what's nice about YouTube is it keeps on paying, and it'll pay, one video typically pays out through the year. And so this was a cumulative of videos that I just were like, yeah, we're just going to film our facial and put it up. You don't know what's going to hit. Maybe you thought it was trashy, but YouTube did not.
Yeah, I know. So, I think those are such great points. Thank you so much for sharing because I think we want to find ways to make money outside of the treatment room. We don't want to just be stuck 24/7. Like you said, it'd be nice to just go to the Bahamas for a few months, right? And not have to work and just relax a little bit outside of the treatment room. But yeah, thank you guys so much. That was such incredible advice.
You're so welcome.
And then lastly, where can people find you? On Instagram, TikTok, all your platforms?
Yeah, Boho Medspa. Pretty simple. Boho Medspa.
So smart. You made everything the same.
Yeah,
across all platforms. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on today's podcast. It was so much fun chatting it up. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.